Hello, my name is Zinaida Benson from the University of Erlangen-Nuremberg in Germany, and I'm going to talk about how security update labels could create economic incentives for the manufacturers to produce more secure Internet of Things devices. This is joint work with Philipp Morgner, Christoph May, Nicole Koschate-Fischer, and Felix Freiling. Many of you have seen this and similar headlines that tell us that IoT devices are tremendously insecure. And when the security bugs are discovered, it often turns out that the manufacturers cannot patch them because updates are not possible, or update architecture is also insecure or unusable. So it seems that the manufacturers do not care about security of IT products at all. Why does it happen? Why is IoT so insecure? So the manufacturers are unwilling to provide security because the consumers are not willing to pay higher prices for more secure products. On the other hand, consumers are unwilling to pay for security because they cannot assess or compare security of different products. So this results in a vicious cycle that cannot be solved by the mechanisms of free market. This means that we have a market failure here. Now, market failures are not uncommon, and they are often solved using some kind of regulation. An example of such regulation is familiar to all of you. This is energy usage. So you can see here energy label of the Federal Trade Commission for the US market and energy label for the European market. Please note that the manufacturers are perfectly entitled to producing devices with high energy usage. They just have to declare this. And in some sense, security and energy usage are similar. You cannot assess these features by just looking at the product when you are going to buy them. So you can also see security and energy usage where during the actual usage of the products, and even then it's not easy. So if we wanted to create security labels that are inspired by the example of energy usage, what should we put on such a label? Our criteria are that whatever is on the security label should be intuitively understood by non-experts. It should enable to compare products, and it should not require third-party product certification before the market release, because the energy labels also do not require this. So the first two features are self-evident. Why do we want to avoid security certification before the market release? There are well-known problems with security certification. The most importantly, certification stands before the new product and the market. So the manufacturers try to choose most relaxed labs that make tests as quickly and as easy as possible. They try to certify only absolutely necessary components of the product, and only security vulnerabilities that are specified in the test protocols can be discovered. So if later some security bugs, for example, in implementations are discovered, it's not quite clear what happens to the security certificate that is already printed on the product and on the label. So we think that reliable patching of vulnerabilities is more crucial than trying to create flawless security, which is quite difficult and maybe even impossible. So we envision that manufacturers would define an update policy for each product And for example, in this case, they would declare availability of security updates till some time period, for example, till September 2024, and provisioning time for security updates, in this case within 30 days, meaning that after the vulnerability is discovered and reported, the patch should be ready within 30 days. These values can be individually set by the manufacturers, and they will be printed as labels on the products and on the packaging. And it's also perfectly possible for the manufacturer to say, I don't want to provide security updates. In this case, this also should be printed on the label, and that's what we mean when we say that these labels are mandatory. There are several concerns with this idea. So for example, this security update labels could be ineffective because some security flaws can't be patched. In this case, we think that consumers should be entitled to compensations. And this would create incentive for manufacturers to provide good update architectures. Also, it's possible that the manufacturers would misuse the labels in the sense that they would sell insecure products and wait till the bugs are discovered. However, we think that this would damage user acceptance and the reputation of the company, and also products with a lot of security bugs would provide high pressure on the manufacturers to deliver patches within limited time. And finally, most important, maybe consumers do not care about security updates. In this case, this idea would not work and all other concerns are unimportant. So we decided to conduct a user study trying to understand, do consumers care about security updates or not? We considered following research questions. How important are security update labels for consumers' buying decisions? And which factors influence this importance? For example, does this importance differ between products with high perceived security risk and products with low perceived security risk? Do demographic characteristics of consumers such as age, gender, education make a difference? And do individual security and privacy awareness of the consumers make a difference for the importance of security updates? Our user study consisted of 2 pre-studies and 1 main study. In the first pre-study, we wanted to select 2 product categories, one with low and one with high perceived security risk that are otherwise perceived similarly by the consumers, for example, in their consumption motivation or desirability. We ran a survey with 30 participants where we asked some questions, for example, about smart door locks, smart lighting systems, smart smoke detectors, and smart vacuum cleaners. As a result, we selected smart home cameras as a product with high perceived security risk, and smart weather stations as a product category with low perceived security risk. In the second pre-study, we asked another 30 participants to select attributes of the 2 product categories that would be most important to them when they decide to buy one of these products. For smart home camera, these attributes were price, resolution, field of vision, frame rate, and zoom function. And for smart weather station, these attributes were price, battery lifetime, precision, rain and wind sensor, and expandability to multiple rooms. Finally, we conducted our main user study with over 1,400 participants. The method that we used there is conjoint analysis. It's a de facto standard in marketing research for understanding importance of different product attributes for buying decisions of consumers. Each consumer or each participant had to make 10 choices, and you can see in a survey, and you can see here an example of one such choice screen that was shown to participants. So for the smart home camera, you can see 4 cameras here with prices between 100 and 160 euros. And it's also possible to say, I don't want any of these cameras by selecting, I wouldn't choose any of these products. The cameras have different frame rates and resolution and also other functional features. And the availability of security updates can be 2 years or 6 years. And the provisioning time could be within 30 and 10 days. You can also see here that there was a camera with security updates not available at all. We recruited our participants at a crowd worker platform, Clickworker in Germany, and half of them evaluated smart home camera and half of them evaluated smart weather station. Our sample is not representative for Germany. It's biased towards male and highly educated persons, and the age 50 plus is underrepresented. However, this sample aligns quite well with the target group of consumers who are interested in buying IoT devices. So the results show that for home camera, a high perceived security risk product, availability of security updates is very important, and it's twice as important as the price. For smart weather station, product category with low perceived security risk, availability of security updates is also important, but it's roughly as important as price and other functional features. In general, we can see that perceived security risk of a product makes a difference, and security updates are more important for products with high perceived security risk, and moreover, availability of security updates is more important than provisioning time for the update. Demographics plays a minor role in our sample. For high perceived security risk product category, we found no differences in importance of security update labels. For low perceived security risk, young people with lower income exhibited lower importance of security update labels. Also, for both product categories, higher security risk perception resulted in high importance of security update label attributes. And for the product category with low perceived security risk, high security behavior intentions and higher privacy concerns led to higher preference for security update label attributes. Effect sizes of statistical tests are small, which means that these differences might not have practical relevance in the real world, and more research is needed here. This study also had some limitations. So we asked only German consumers, and the buying decisions were hypothetical, so it's not quite clear how people would behave in reality. And also usability of updates was not tested, which could have very high impact in real world. To summarize, mandatory security update labels are intuitively understood by consumers and are important for their buying decisions. So they have a high influence on their choice of IoT devices. And this would create economic incentives for manufacturers to produce devices with good security update architectures, which would make IoT devices more secure. Thank you.